Hello everyone, I hope you're well. So in today's video, I'm going to be creating this really striking mermaid look. Perfect for spring, summer, and also any festivals that you might be attending this year. I'm also only going to be using Rimmel London products in this video. They're one of my favourite brands from the high street. Their products are really affordable but absolutely amazing quality. So I hope you enjoy it and let's get started. To start, I'm going to prime using the Rimmel Fix and Perfect Makeup Primer. This just smooths my skin and makes a really nice base for foundation. For which I'm going to be using the Rimmel Wake Me Up Foundation and I'm using the shade Ivory. I'm just buffing this into my skin. I love this foundation because it erases any imperfections, but it's also really affordable and doesn't look cakey, which is also a bonus. To fill in my eyebrows, I'm going to be using the Brow Shake Filling Powder and I am in the shade Medium Brown. This is really easy to use and just helps to fill in any sparse gaps of your brows, leaving them looking super perfect. Now for the eyes, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Magnifies Eye Primer to really make that eyeshadow we're about to apply stay on all day. I'm then taking a couple of shades from the Rimmel Magnifies Eye Contouring Palette in the shade London Nudes Calling, and I'm using the pale cream shade all over the eyelid, and then I'm taking a kind of taupey shade and I'm blending this into the crease of my eye. This is going to be the transition shade of the look. To start building up the blue, I'm going to be using the Scandaleyes eyeshadow stick in the shade Blamed Blue. This is so beautiful. It's really creamy, really pigmented, and I'm applying that onto both of my eyelids and blending out with an eyeshadow brush. This colour is just so perfect. It's like a turquoise and it makes the perfect base for this mermaid look. Next, I'm taking that taupey shade again and using it to blend out that blue eyeshadow into the crease of our eye. And I'm going to repeat the last two steps all over again, applying the blue shadow stick and just building up that colour and intensity, and then buffing the colour out with our transition shade again. Now, mermaids' towels have an iridescent sheen to them, so I'm taking the Rimmel Glam Eye Quad eyeshadow in the shade State of Grace, and I'm using the iridescent green shimmer and just applying that to the centre of my eyelid. This is really going to start to transform the look and make your eyes pop. Keep applying this to the centre of your eyelid until you reach your desired effect. And again, don't forget to buff out with that transition shade. I'm going to take the blue shadow stick underneath my lower lash line as well and blend that out with a pencil brush. I'm basically trying to imitate what I've done on the eyelid to underneath the lower lash line here. So blending out that blue, adding some of that iridescent green from the Glam Eyes Quad, and also using some of that transition shade underneath the lower lash line. Next, it's time to line up my top and bottom waterlines, and for this I'm using the Rimmel Scandaleyes eyeshadow stick in the shade Blackmail. This is a really pigmented black eye pencil, and again I'm using a pencil brush to smudge that out underneath my lower lash lines. For liquid liner, I'm using the Scandaleyes Bold Liquid Eyeliner in black. This has a really nice intense glossy colour and it's waterproof, so it will last you 24 hours. Perfect if you're wearing this on a night out. I'm just adding a small cap flick to each eye and also running some of that liquid liner underneath the bottom lash line as well to imitate the look. I decided I wanted to smoke out that line a tiny bit, so I'm taking some of that Scandaleyes eyeshadow stick on an angled brush and just using that to smoke out and blend the liquid liner slightly. Once eyeliner is applied, I'm just going back in with a couple more of those iridescent shades just to build up the look a little bit more. Before moving on to mascara, I'm using my new beauty favourite, which is the Rimmel Volume Shake Mascara. This is great because it doesn't leave you with any clumps in your eyelashes, so you don't need to worry about spider lashes, and instead you're going to be left with beautiful, long, voluminous lashes. To finish off the eyes, I'm taking the Brow This Way highlighting pencil in shimmer and I'm using that underneath my brow bone just to highlight slightly and blending that out with my finger. Back to that Glam Eyes Quad, and I'm taking the silver shade on a pencil brush again and applying that in the inner corner of my eye just to really open the eyes up. And I also wanted to add a little bit more vibrancy into the look, so I'm taking the purple from the palette and running that on the outer corner of my lower lash line. Time to conceal, and I'm using the Rimmel Rimmel Wake Me Up Concealer. I'm in the shade Ivory, and I'm just applying that underneath my eyes, down the centre of my nose, on my chin, and also on my forehead. And I'm just patting that in with my fingers. This step really brings the whole look together. This really airbrushes your skin and covers any imperfections. But if you want a little bit more coverage, then apply that to your blemishes. I'm using this on my cheeks here, and just blend it in with a brush. For contouring, I'm using the Kate Moss Sculpting palette. I've got the shade Coral Glow, and I'm using that to contour my cheekbones, on my forehead, and also underneath my jawline, just to give some definition back into my face. And I'm also using the blush from this palette as well on my cheeks. I'm also obsessed with contouring my nose, so I'm taking an eyeshadow brush and using that contour powder from the palette down my nose just to add some more definition, being sure to blend it out properly and add some concealer to highlight in the middle. For highlighter, I'm using the Good to Glow highlighter in Notting Hill Glow. This is an iridescent, easy to blend cream highlighter, and I'm using that on my cheekbones and also on my Cupid's bow. And the final step is lipstick. I'm using my Kate Nudes lipstick in the shade 42, which is my new favourite nude. It's like My Lips but better, really creamy moisturising lipstick. I'm going to be doing final touch-ups on the eyes, just adding a tiny bit more eyeliner, and then the look is complete. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. I will leave links to all products in the down bar. Do let me know if there are any other looks you would like to see me do. Have a lovely weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye!